Hey, welcome back to the second season of the Radiant You podcast, where we embrace self love, uniqueness, and the journey to our most radiant selves. I am so happy that you are here. I am Lisa Cole with your host. Don't forget, if this episode speaks to your heart, consider sharing it with a friend who might need a little light today. Sometimes the simplest gesture can be the most radiant gift. So, there are a couple of my wonderful therapy assistants in my home office with me today, and you can see that my screen is shaking. Yep, that's my two furry friends, Annie and Ginger. And you might hear some background noise. We are having some work done in our home. And so I hope it's not too distracting. I'm trying really hard to get it in between all the pounding. Anyways, I have said this before. I am not perfect. My situation is not perfect. And that is what helps me to actually be radiant, to be able to look at how I can find radiance in all situations in my life. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I am thrilled to offer to you today an episode that talks about that. A day late, but it's worthy of looking at again. So let me just back up a little bit. And I'm not even sure where I left off because I had some distraction with my furry friends here. Anyways, so I am thrilled that you are here and joining us. The Radiant You is just exploding, and I am just honored. So today's episode is a little different. It's not just a celebration of Mother's Day. It's an embrace, a collective pause, a love letter to women in all the ways that we show up. Love, nurture, and shine. Today's episode is a love letter to all women, to anyone who has ever nurtured, hoped, held, or healed. We are honoring the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunties, the godmothers, the women who longed to be mothers, the ones on the fertility journeys, those who've chosen a child-free life, the mother figures, and those who have lost their mothers or never had the one that they needed. This is for all of us. We shine in many forms, and every single one deserves to be seen. Mother's Day can be beautiful and bittersweet. This is a space for celebration and tenderness, for laughter and tears, for honor and love. Let's honor every expression of womanhood and radiance. So grab your journals and spend some time reflecting with the digging deep radiance questions throughout the episode. Take some time for you. We begin by celebrating mothers, the original nurturers. Motherhood is radiant. Motherhood is one of the most sacred and selfless expressions of love. We honor the new moms holding their breath and their babies. The seasoned moms with stories, laugh lines, and wisdom woven into every day. The adoptive moms, stepmoms, foster moms, choosing love again and again. The single moms, doing the job of two. The working moms, staying at home moms. Moms navigating identity while raising others. Moms who've lost children and still mother with aching hearts. Motherhood is not about doing it all. It's about the love behind it all, the love that echoes through time. You shape the next generation, not just with your words, but with your presence. Motherhood isn't about perfection. Radiance lives in your vulnerability, the realness. It lives in your tired eyes, in your deep laughter, in your effort. You are enough. You are more than enough. A 2020 Harvard Medical School study showed that the maternal brain literally rewires during motherhood, heightening emotional regulation, empathy, and memory. This transformation supports bonding and caregiving, making motherhood a profound neurological shift, not just a role. This means that mothering is more than doing, it's being. It's a biological transformation, but also an emotional and spiritual one. Take a moment to reflect on this. Dig deeper to your radiance. Who has made you feel safe and deeply loved in your life? Who has made you feel safe and deeply loved in your life? How have you mothered someone else? How have you mothered someone else? Mother's Day often awakens grief, and that grief deserves space too. According to the Center for Complicated Grief at Columbia University, maternal loss is uniquely profound. The mother is often the primary attachment figure, and losing her can disrupt one's sense of security, self-worth, and emotional regulation. Grief is not linear, and days like this bring it to the surface. There is no expiration date on missing someone who mattered. Let me repeat that. I have a fluffy friend making noise. So I'm real, right? I'm sorry. There is no expiration date on missing someone who mattered. For some, the grief is not about death, but disconnection, estrangement, a mother who couldn't show up, a relationship that never felt safe. American Psychological Association show that people who've experienced ambiguous loss, such as emotional absence or estranged relationships, often carry unresolved grief that resurfaces around holidays and milestones. Let's be honest, this day is complex. Let's hold space for those who have lost their mothers, whether recently or long ago. Those grieving complicated, strained, or abusive relationships with their mothers. Women whose mothers are still here but no longer present due to illness or memory loss. Those who never knew their mother at all. Mother loss changes you. It reshapes you. And on days like today, it stings. To those who ache with the absence of a mother figure, you may feel the presence of her love in new and surprising ways. And may you feel it, maybe today or other days, maybe through a song, a scent, a memory, a story, or in other people. A beautiful friend of mine recently lost her sweet mother. These last several weeks, she has been preparing for an estate sale. So much work for her and her family. But what she became aware of were the divine connections that she found in the people that came to look, visit, and buy at her sale. Both weekends of her sale, she felt her mom's love through these people. So God and so radiant. Those we love don't really go away. They walk beside us every day. Let's look at that again. We know that they physically go away, but we also are reminded that the love doesn't really go away. It walks with us every single day. What part of you still aches to be mothered? How can you offer tenderness to that part of yourself today? What part of you still aches to be mothered? How can you offer tenderness to that part of yourself today? Mother's Day can be painful for those silently hoping or grieving. Let's talk about the women who don't often get seen on Mother's Day. Here's the thing. We see you. We might not say it, but we need to say it. We see you. The ones who have been trying to conceive, feeling hopeful and heartbroken all at once. Those who've had miscarriages or experienced infertility in silence. The ones watching friends become mothers while wondering, will it ever happen to me? Women who've chosen not to have children yet are deeply nurturing in every other way. Let me say this clearly. You are not less than. You are not behind. You are not invisible. You love deeply. You nurture dreams, people, ideas. You show up with courage. That is radiance. That is mothering too. The CDC reports that about 1 in 5 women experience infertility during their reproductive years, and many feel invisible or misunderstood on holidays like Mother's Day. According to the Journal of Women's Health, women facing infertility often report isolation, depression, and reduced self-esteem, especially when friends and family members are experiencing motherhood milestones. If that's you, know this. You are whole. You are radiant. You are not forgotten. Your longing is valid, and your worth is not dependent on your ability to conceive or parent. There is no one way to mother. Love makes many forms sacred. There is no one way to mother. Take some moments now to reflect. How do you nurture the world around you? What does mothering look like in your unique life? How do you nurture the world around you? What does mothering look like in your unique life? Let's think for a moment about the different meanings that we know for sure of motherhood. But let's take a moment too and expand those meanings to include all forms of radiance. Motherhood isn't only about biology. Let's widen our lens to celebrate the women who mother through mentorship, through friendship, in their classrooms, clinics, and communities, through creativity and compassion, by breaking generational patterns and healing themselves. The world needs mothering energy, and it shows up in women from every walk of life. You are radiant when you comfort a friend, guide a niece, teach a child, speak truth, offer care, build a dream. Let's celebrate that Mother's Day can belong to every woman who gives love, protection, and care, no matter how it's expressed. The Tend and Befriend theory by psychologist Shelley Taylor explains that women's stress responses often include nurturing and community building, not just fight or flight. This response helps explain the profound emotional intelligence and resilience women show when supporting others. I find that fascinating. Here's more. Studies from the Greater Good Science Center shows that mentorship and emotional support activate the same regions of the brain as caregiving and parenting, suggesting that mothering energy is not limited to family relationships. You mother the world when you make someone feel safe, when you create, when you lead with compassion. That is just as sacred. Let's expand our definition of mothering. Radiance in all its forms. When you pour your love into your work, your art, your friendships, your community, remember, you radiate when you break the cycles, when you heal, when you hold space for others and for yourself. Radiance is the woman who holds her friend's hand through the heartbreak, the woman who nurtures ideas, gardens, loves on animals, and loves causes, the woman who shows up to her own life with courage and softness. Guess what? We are all radiant. And on Mother's Day, we honor every path, every story, every woman. Let's reflect. In what ways are you mothering the world around you? Perhaps without even realizing it. Mother's Day is for more than mothers. It's for every woman who's ever offered love, safety, and care. So let's redefine this celebration. Let's honor the mothers and the nurturers, the dreamers, the grievers, the healers. Let's honor you. You don't have to fit any mold to shine. You already glow. So here's to you. Whatever Mother's Day brings, laughter, tears, brunches, silence, longing, may you know that you are not alone. May you know that you are radiant, not for what you do, but for who you are. The most radiant women I know have loved and lost, hoped and hurt, and still show up with a heart that refuses to close. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with me. Take time today to love on you, whether it's with flowers, music, silence, with people, or with your journal. Honor your own radiant heart. May you move through the rest of this day this season, this life, feeling seen, celebrated, connected, and radiant. Positive psychology research consistently finds that being seen and validated, especially around identity and grief, supports emotional resilience and mental health. Naming our full experience reduces shame and increases self-worth. Remember this: to mother is to nurture life in others and in yourself. And that is radiant work. Let me say that again. To mother is to nurture life in others and in yourself. And that is radiant work. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe and share it with someone you care about. I appreciate you. I truly want you to know how grateful I am that you are here. Remember, radiance is a journey, and by showing up, you are already on the right path. Together, we are exploring what it truly means to embrace, celebrate, and shine as your beautiful, radiant self. See you next time. Shine your light and be the radiant you.